Okay, so there's another topic I want to go over today. This is a big day for videos. I actually got a 30-day ban on Facebook for quoting and then laughing about the quote. What somebody had said in a message to somebody. Somebody had threatened one of my friends, threatened her life. And she wasn't scared. She knows that it's not a big deal because it was just the internet. But they said they were going to, kick her ass or whatever. And she posted the screenshots from that. And, oh, who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? So anyway, she posted screenshots from that conversation to show everybody who was talking to her like that. And we're like, oh. And I commented and quoted that person because it sounded so ridiculous. And I said, Lamau, laugh out loud. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. That's stupid. Well, Facebook scanned and found that, with one of their Tel Aviv bots. And because apparently that's where their headquarters is, where they have everybody scanning through to look for stuff. And I figured it'd be California, but I guess not. So one of their bots saw what I said and gave me a 30-day ban without looking at the damn post. I wasn't threatening that girl's life. I was mocking the person who did so. Anyway, so I got 30 days. I was like, Jesus Christ, all right, fuck it. And I thought, well, what can I do in 30 days, that I haven't done so far? I am going to exercise every day, which I've kind of been doing anyway, but now that, I can't get on there and post and say anything and talk to y'all as much. My messenger still works. I just can't fucking do anything else. I was like, all right, so my groups are going to go neglected for 30 days, my 2 groups. But anyway, so I figured YouTube videos is probably where my activity is going to be, and my writing on my Patreon and stuff like that. And by the way, the Patreon is free. I know people subscribe to get more access to posts and shit. I don't have it like that. All my stuff on there is public. I've got maybe 2 posts that I have private that are about my personal practice, my personal spiritual practice that I do. And I have that private just because, which I'm thinking I might make public anyway, because after I thought about it, I was like, nah, I don't have anything to worry about. Just put this out there. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding something special. It's not that. It's just shit that I do. So if you get on Patreon or whatever, there is a subscribe thing where you can pay a couple dollars a month if you want. And it's like just to help me out or be nice or whatever. It's not because I'm locking shit away and you've got to pay to see more of it. I'm not doing that. But anyway, Patreon, WordPress, Tumblr, and YouTube and Instagram is going to be where my activity is for the next month, since I can't fucking post on fucking Facebook. So here we go. This video is going to be about the way that you might compare yourself to somebody else to gauge your progress, and how you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I have caught myself, which is why I'm doing this topic, because I know I'm guilty of it, but I have caught myself many times, especially recently in my life, using someone else as a gauge for how well I'm doing and how far ahead I'm getting. And that isn't fair on yourself. And don't worry about them, because it doesn't concern their feelings or whatever. It's not even about that. But it's not fair to do to yourself, because you're comparing yourself to somebody. There's a good chance you're comparing yourself to somebody who can't compete with you anyway. So it's like not even a good gauge. Do you see what I mean? And I've made this mistake many, many times. I've looked at somebody who I perceived to be doing better than me, and I would look at that person and say, well, if I know I can do better than them in such and such, type of way, then I'm doing pretty good. I'm making progress. And that's not fair to you. That's not fair to yourself, because you're looking at somebody who's coming from a totally different angle, from a totally different background, and from a totally different mindset and a totally different everything. And you're telling yourself that if you go ahead of them, that if you surpass them, you're doing great. That's not how that's supposed to work. Your only competition is yourself and who you were yesterday. Who were you yesterday? Think about it. Ask yourself, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is, if it's day or night, doesn't matter. Ask yourself who you were yesterday. What happened yesterday? What slip-ups did you have yesterday? What things did you do yesterday that you wish you could have done better? Where were you lacking yesterday where you were wishing you could have done better? And use that. Yesterday, I could have got more sewing done, but I didn't, because I was having a conversation with somebody that went on and on for a long time, and I could have been sitting there finishing my sewing, and I wasn't. I was just running my mouth. So I would say today I'm going to do better about the sewing and get some of that shit done, because for real, me and Richard are going to the Viking Festival thing in Atlanta on the 21st. And because I couldn't find a border I liked for my outfit, I've got to make the damn border myself and embroider it myself, which is not a big deal. It's easy to do. That stuff's not hard. Don't let anybody tell you it is. It's not. You can do it. But I've got a lot to do, and I should have been doing more of it yesterday, and I fucked around and I didn't. So here we are. That's what I mean. Your mindset yesterday. What was your mindset? Did you have a bad reaction to something? Whatever. How can you do better today? The only person that you're going to have to thank by the end of your life, is going to be yourself, and for your progress, whether there was any or not. It's going to be up to you, because you are in control of how much progress you do. Do not let anybody have you thinking, I don't care who they are or how influential they are in your life. Do not let anybody have you thinking that you can only get so far, you can only do so much, you can only do so much if they allow it, you're not going to be better than them, whatever. I don't care. Ignore that shit. That's not it. That's not it. You look at what you did yesterday and ask yourself today, can I do a better job? Do I want to do a better job? What would doing a better job, what would that prove to me? What would I be proving to myself by doing better today than I did yesterday? That I have less limitations than I originally thought. That I shouldn't listen to so-and-so when they tell me I'm not capable. That I shouldn't listen to myself when I tell myself the same old story that I'm not capable because I learned from so-and-so who brainwashed me in the 90s when I was little, or whatever it is. Whatever it is. Ask yourself those questions. People do things without asking themselves fucking questions. They don't look into themselves. We're not taught to. We're not trained to do that. No one teaches us to do that. That's why we're stuck the way in the situation we're in. So it's not your fault. But I'm just saying, it'd be good to start asking yourself why you do the shit you do. Why you don't do some shit. Who was the first person who influenced that on you and showed you that as an example? Who set that example for you? Who taught you that that was normal? If you saw that in somebody else and saw that history in somebody else, would you tell them, okay, yeah, that's fine, or would you say, that might not be healthy, you deserve better, let's work on getting you a better mindset. You know, just you got to ask yourself the right questions and say, is this what I want to be? So every day, instead of gauging myself on somebody else and what they're doing, which I have been guilty of, instead it's going to be, all right, you know, how far did I get yesterday? Okay, how far can I get today? Like yesterday, let's take my exercising for example. I've been trying to get back into exercising. So far, so good. I want to get better than what I used to be. I want to surpass what I used to be when I was younger, which I can do so long as I stick to it. Now, yesterday, I managed to do, don't ask me how. Well, I took breaks. I took like a few second breaks in between, but I eventually did 100 sit-ups, which really wasn't that bad. Like I say, I took the breaks. I did 100 sit-ups, and then I did 100, I don't know what to call it. Hold on, let me get past this guy because he's loud. Okay, so yesterday I did 100 sit-ups, and I also did 100, I don't know what to call it, like lifts. I lifted the kettlebell from the floor, and I kept my back straight, right? And I would grab it from the floor and stand up with my back straight and lift it up, and I lifted it to where my elbows were out, and I had the kettlebell like in front of my face. And I don't know how I took breaks, but I lifted that. I did 100 of those last night before I took a shower and went to bed. But I feel okay today. I don't feel worn out or any of that. I'm not hurting. I'm all right. So I did that yesterday. I thought, okay, I could do the 100 sit-ups, the 100 kettlebell lifts, whatever. And then also on top of that, today I've gone for a walk. So I've been out like at least an hour, if not longer. Maybe like an hour and a half, which is long enough because I'm getting tired. But so I've already done more than what I did yesterday with my exercise, and I think that's enough. I've done enough for today. So I surpassed what I did yesterday, and I've only used myself as a gauge. And here's another thing that helps, that this is going to help, this mindset, because this takes me back to my other video I just made about expectations and worrying about what somebody else is doing and whether or not they're going to do what you hope they're going to do. You can forget all that, because when you use only yourself as the gauge and as the measurement, if it's just you against you, you don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing, whether they're doing it right or not. You just don't have to. And that's it. So keep that in mind, because that's going to really liberate you from worrying about what the hell somebody else is up to. Just don't worry about it. Brandon. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, so just remember that shit. Because, you know, yeah, he's like tilling the earth or something. I don't know what he's doing. But that will really free you, is just comparing yourself to yourself. Because like I say, in the end, I wish I had a thing I could put my phone in. I need to get one. Because like I say, in the end, all you're gonna have, oh fuck, is yourself to compare yourself to, because that's all that matters. There are so many people, oh my God, there are so many people who are worried about what somebody else is doing, and if somebody else is making better progress, and if somebody else is fucking whatever the fuck. That doesn't matter. You've got to just worry about what you're doing. And that is a huge, huge ass lesson I've learned lately, is to just worry about what I was doing yesterday and can I do better today? And that's it. And that's all I can do, because that's all I can control is what I did yesterday versus what I'm doing today. And am I pleased with myself? Am I pleased with my progress? Am I pleased with my self-discipline? You know, am I doing well? Am I setting a good example to myself? This old guy's freaking out because I'm like coming down the road. It's fine. I'm not going to hit you. I promise. The drivers around here are okay. They're not out to kill. But that's all I wanted to say about that is that you cannot be worried about what somebody else is fucking doing, because they're coming from a totally different background, a totally different story, and a totally different, you know, angle. And hell, and look at it this way, a lot of people in this world right now are comparing themselves to somebody who can't even compete with them. I have compared myself to people, especially women, obviously, who couldn't have done half the shit I've done in my life. Not because they're dumb or whatever, or they've got less worth or anything like that. It's not that. It's just that they're coming from a different angle, and we've got different limitations. We've got different boundaries and different strengths and shit like that. And there's a lot of things that I've been through that other people couldn't have done, and there's other things that other people have done that I couldn't. So how the hell are you going to look at somebody and be like, well, if I can do better than so-and-so, I'm doing pretty fucking good? No, you need to just drop that. Just drop it. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I hope that brings you some clarity and helps put things in perspective for you, because you really need to only be comparing yourself to who you were the day before. That is it. Everybody is mowing their lawn today, and everybody's got a damn thing that you ride. No one's pushing a lawnmower. Are those days gone forever? Hell, only I mean, my parents weren't known for having, you know, a bunch of modern equipment, but Dad had the old-fashioned lawnmower where it was just the blades and you pushed it and it just went, you know, like that kind that you could build from scrap metal and sharpen, and it was just that. And he had that, and I, you know, this other stuff is like so different for me. Anyway, we didn't have a fucking cordless phone at home until like 2000. So, if that. In fact, it was more like 2005, I think, was when we finally got a cordless phone in the house. So, you know, there's newfangled stuff. But anyway, I hope that helps. And I hope that you see that you need to only be worrying about what you did yesterday, because you're only going to have yourself to thank for your progress, nobody else. Nobody can push you. Nobody can inspire. Well, that's not true. That people can push you and inspire you, but it'll be up to you to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to do it. It'll be up to you to make the decision as to whether or not you're worth pushing yourself. That'll be up to you. Are you worth being the best that you can be? Are you worth it? And that's it. And your answer is yes or no. So I hope that gave you something to think about. It gives me something to think about every day, and it's something I've been practicing, and it's really helped me do a lot of things, and I'm feeling better about my life. And I want that to, I hope that helps, you know, other people feel the same way, because your life is worth it, and it's worth doing the right thing for yourself, and it's worth holding yourself to a certain standard so that you can do what you want to do. And I'm going to let that be it, but thank you.